Savenaca, Namaste, and welcome to our second segment as we join the Unity Fiji leader, Mr. Savenaca Narube, as he explains more in depth to his response relating to the National Budget 2020-2021. Mr. Narube, you have mentioned many times that the budget is pro-rich. Can you explain this, please?
Thank you. I'll just itemize for you some of the measures in the budget that benefits the rich exclusively or benefits them more than any other people. First, they have halved what they call the social responsibility tax. And these are for those earning above $270,000, the super rich in the country. They've halved that for no reason. They've reduced the import taxes on luxury goods, as we all know, and luxury vehicles. This benefits the rich. They are the only one that can afford to buy this at this time. They've reduced the capital gains tax. I guess the rich have more assets to sell than the poor. They've also adjusted the fringe benefit allowances. These fringe benefits, as you know, are vehicles, houses, medical insurance, and so forth, which are mostly given to higher income people, the CEOs, includes the ministers. And there's a reduction in tax penalty. The rich pay more taxes than the poor. So if there's a reduction in penalty, they benefit more. They have reduced tax on what they call super yachts. I'm sure the poor don't have super yachts. And they have reduced the departure taxes. I know there's not much traveling going on, but when it does, the rich normally travels more than the poor. And there are tax breaks on capital bonds, and I know for sure that the poor do not invest in capital bonds. So there are a rack of others in the budget, but those are some of the things I want to highlight in this video. Well, that's why I'm saying that this budget is for the rich, not the poor, at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Narube. What are in this budget for the low-income earners and the poor?
Very little or nothing at all, I'm sorry to say. The unemployment allowances, the government is saying we're giving $25 million. To help the members through the members of the FNPF. $25 million out of a budget of $3.6 billion. That to me is just tokenism. Nothing for non-members of the FNPF. Where would they get relief at this time? Nothing for those casual laborers that are not even in the statistics. Where would they get help? And to me, that is the amazing balance in this budget. The balance that is against the people. It is pro-business. I have nothing against business. But I think we need, at this particular crisis, take care of the people first.
What do you think government should have done?
I think, as we know, over 180,000 people have their incomes reduced. And that's a lot. They are worried about where their next meal would come from, how they pay for their children's education and other commitments, the rent, utilities. This is real. This struggle is real. And I'm sorry to say it's going to increase. So in this crisis, it calls into play the role of government in this crisis. It is quite critical. There are many things that only the government can do. And it's critical that the government handles this very well. And we have emphasized in our unity budget, what we are calling the alternative budget, that we should be people-centered. This budget should be focused on the people. But we see the opposite right now. We see the opposite. The balance, as I read the budget and I understand, is 90% for business, 10% for the people. That's tragic. If I was doing this budget, I would have put perhaps 50-50 or 40-60. Balance up that aspect of it. We don't see that in this budget.
You have talked a lot about injecting $1 billion to the people. Some people say that this will promote the handout mentality. What do you say to that?
I know, and we had explained a bit about that $1 billion handout to the people, a cash injection to the people in the last video. And the question or the views that come across, isn't that a handout? And are we not encouraging a handout mentality? I ask us to take a look at this situation. This is quite different from normal times. We're not, we're right now, I'm sorry to say, in a situation that's unprecedented. We need unprecedented solutions. And the theories in the textbook may not work very well. Businesses are in survival mode. The demand, as you know, for business is important. It's nosedive. And they are struggling. So the only way that this income that we have lost can be plowed back into the economy is to have the one that has some money, which is in this case government, to put it back into the economy through the people. Not the business, through the people. You know why? Because I think for the business, they will hardly pass on that money to anybody else. The people would. And I'll explain that a little bit more later on. So to me, we need to do that lost income back into the economy. So it's no fault of these people to be laid off, to be sent home. So it's not a matter, to me, a handout. I think it is a practical solution to the crisis that we face.
What is your response to those that say we should support businesses first because they provide jobs?
Yes, I referred to that a little bit earlier. As I said, their demand for their businesses is going down and they are hemorrhaging. So their cash flow is affected. And to me, the best way to ease that is to plow that money into the people, they then support business. Because I know that the support that goes directly to the people will circulate to everybody else. So it's the right thing to support the people, and through that they will support the business. And I think that is the balance, another balance that I think should have been adjusted or be better in this budget. And I come back to the $1 billion cash injection that we have been promoting quite early in the crisis.
Thank you, Mr. Narube. Why do you think government is not putting people first?
I don't know. Really. I really don't know. At a time like this, if I was in government, I would put people first. And that's not politics around that. It's just understanding the dynamics and the situation on the ground. But I think if you look back at all their government budgets for the past years, you will see that they are pro-business. And not maybe right at that time. But now, I think we need to change that. We need to put the people first. And I see that the government in its other policies that it has executed over the years, it seems to be pro-business and very little regard to the people. And I refer to e-ticketing as one. I've talked about it a lot. They have allowed this traffic to worsen and the people suffer. There are many others. But for us at Unity Fiji, we will always put people first. As our theme is put people first. And our alternative budget that we prepared and presented are people-centered. Because I really feel, that politics aside, at the end of the day, it's the people that matters. And I believe let's not mix this politics at this time with this crisis. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on our second segment. Please join us again next week for more Q&A with the Unity Fiji leader, Mr. Savenaca Narube. Vinaka.